Hello, this is Diego Mangabira, and in this episode of Mindset, I'm going to talk to you who feel like you're part of a world where sometimes it seems like you're crazy or seen as crazy in relation to what you say, what you feel, and what you convey to people. This sometimes leads you to question if everyone else is right, if you're truly crazy, or if you are actually awake and seeing the truth, trying to share it with others. So, in this video, I'm going to talk about 5 strategies for those of you who think you might be crazy but are actually awakened, okay? So, stay with us because this episode of Mindset is just beginning. Before we start this episode of Mindset, I want to invite you to subscribe to our channel. Basically, click on the subscribe button and then you'll receive our new videos. But more than that, I invite you to click on the bell next to the subscribe button. This way, you'll be the first to receive all notifications through YouTube, notifications on your phone, and also by email. This is very important for you to always stay updated about our videos, okay? The first sign that you are awakened and feel that people are not aligned with what you are thinking about life is, in fact, the conflict of ideas you have within yourself. So, you think about certain things, you see various materials, various situations, and you even have different experiences from the people around you. This actually awakens within you some types of questions and exclamations. Why are things like this? Why are the people around me not on the same vibration, the same energy, that I am feeling at this very moment? Pay close attention to the situations around you, and if you can, write them down in a notebook or even a diary, or keep a piece of paper close to you, could be a notepad, that's fine. But jot down the situations where you identify that people still haven't understood, for example, the real meaning, not from the ego's perspective but from the perspective of the self, to further strengthen the idea that people should awaken. It's the sense of the new Aquarian age, the sense of understanding that we are undergoing a great transition, and this contributes to people awakening to light, prosperity, abundance, and, moreover, to true love, regardless of what is happening in the political, economic, or social sphere, okay? It is very important that instead of just thinking about it, you bring it to your conscious mind in relation to what you are feeling. This exercise is crucial because most of the time when you say, "Am I crazy about what I'm feeling? Am I the one who is feeling this, but actually, I feel, I see, I materialize what makes sense to me." The second aspect that really draws your attention regarding feeling crazy and then realizing you're awake to the new age, the new situations that are coming into your life, are your friendships. You start thinking about family themes, your parents, uncles, brothers, aunts, close relatives. These are the first social circles we are part of. If we take a scientific perspective, a psychological analysis, there was a psychologist named Erik Erikson. He has already passed away, but he made a whole chronological analysis from birth until we pass away, let's say, and in this case, the social groups we are part of, the family is one of the first social groups we belong to. When you start to analyze family relationships, you begin to look at your first friendships you still have from school, or even those you started in chat rooms during adolescence and adulthood. Now, look at your work, your neighborhood, observe your coworkers, and then you talk about certain things, or you hear certain things from these people, and they don't make much sense. You want to talk about other situations, like, let's say, the law of attraction, vibration, the power we have inside that connects us to the universe, and actually, people don't understand that much. They delegate, they prefer not to talk about it, or you also feel that when you try to talk about it, they become apprehensive, they don't want you to talk about it. It's basically a conversation where, look, you're with me, but I don't want to hear what you have to say. Let's talk about something superficial. This doesn't apply to everyone, of course. There are people who are like-minded, but the majority, I'd say about 97% of people, are not yet prepared for the new era. We are increasingly preparing people, and it's not from my perspective or yours, but these are aspects that are much older. As we are trained, let's say, simply to analyze things, we tend to blame society, blame politics, blame the economy, blame the ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend, husband, ex-husband, wife. Everything, in fact, blames the external. We were not trained to internalize what we have to learn with ourselves. This becomes very evident in your friendships. So, if you feel that your friendships no longer make sense, you are awake, you are awakened, yes, because you see that the same positive vibration you have is not being absorbed by them, it's not being understood by them, and that's okay. There's no right or wrong, there are just different perspectives, new friendships that you'll attract to you, even in intimate relationships. Why not? You'll attract a perspective that makes more sense. I always use an important metaphor. When you were a child, you wore children's clothes. When you are an adult, you can no longer wear children's clothes. It's the same with thoughts, feelings, emotions, and spirituality. You evolve. Regardless of your religion, spirituality has to do with something superior, with breathing. If we go back to ancient civilizations, we see that the qualification of your friendships will happen, and this will actually mean two things you'll have to do with yourself: distance yourself from these people and get closer to more positive people. Actually, I won't explain this in this video because there are more videos here on the channel about it, but the goal is for you to start thinking about this, that you are awake to the new Aquarian age. The third aspect has to do with education, personal development, so seeking out books, courses, lectures, videos, audios. You become, mathematically speaking, statistically speaking, someone who wants to go from here to there. You have a thirst for knowledge, and this knowledge makes you awaken even more, especially bringing out that phrase we use a lot in our training. If you want to learn more about our training, you can access the 25 courses within the Academy of Alchemy of the Mind to gain knowledge about all the training. There, we have courses on prosperity for you to develop your mind, your spirituality, your emotions, to overcome your self-sabotage. Also, if you want to specialize in coaching in some specific areas related to spirituality and spiritual intelligence, go there, it will definitely make sense. Be a student, and I invite you to be part of it too, okay? When you think about these courses in relation to your thirst for knowledge, we are very much in sync, even with the Academy of Alchemy of the Mind, because we teach mastery. The concept of mastery is very ancient, millennial, it goes back 100 million years, 200, 300,000 years. When we look at other civilizations, see their archaeological sites, and see that people had a perspective that the more you know, the less you know. This phrase, actually, was said by several masters throughout the history of humanity. Even the history you learned feels, in fact, very limited in terms of knowledge. But when we take Lao Tzu, for instance, around 300 BC, he was saying in China, to know and not know. Then, we look at Socrates, around 100 BC, he says the same thing, I know that I know nothing. So, you see people in different places. China, which still exists today, and Greece, which doesn't exist anymore because they were separate city-states. He was in Athens, Socrates, and, in this case, they said the same thing, even though they were in different places. This mastery continues within you, and you are not crazy in relation to this, you are awake, you are awakened concerning the new era and what is actually required concerning the fifth dimension, right? What does this do? It makes you know more and learn more. Moreover, it awakens humility within you. I think it's important to talk about this because it doesn't make sense to learn and then try to show that you know more than others, otherwise, you haven't learned anything. The goal is for you to learn more, study more, listen more, watch more videos. This is what enables you to want to learn more. But what is the goal, the purpose? It's your own growth, your self-development, your self-knowledge. If you focus on the word self, it always has to do with you, with yourself, with the I. And when you get closer to yourself, you achieve the greatest victory you can in your life, which is victory over yourself. You don't have to defeat external enemies, focusing on external enemies. What we see in relation to this transition are the excesses that we call polarities, in the Hermetic laws, which are known, let's say, 30,000 BC, in what we today call Egypt. The law of rhythm, the law of polarities, we know that, in fact, nothing stays on just one side. So, there's no point in saying that right and left, good and evil, cold and hot, you have to understand that the middle path, understanding yourself, that you also have light and darkness within you, is what will bring true spiritual evolution that you need at this very moment. This is from the bottom of my heart because you know that what I am saying makes sense. You feel the flame, the light within you, so pay close attention. You have to invest time, invest money, invest effort, invest everything you have because you feel that this brings real results instead of superficialities. The fourth aspect has to do with the need for how you connect spiritually. Let's put it more simply, spiritual connection. There are various ways for you to connect with the higher. In this case, regardless of whether you have a religion or not, or even if you have faith, a dogma, a belief, a doctrine, or you perform some sort of ritual, let's say, a weekly ritual, a mass, a service, you go to a mosque, a synagogue, a center, everyone calls it something. It doesn't matter what you call it, okay? You might name it God, Creator, Krishna, Buddha, Allah, Shiva, you can give various names. In fact, you can give just one name in relation to what we call the Creator, okay? I'll use the word universe for practical purposes and also because it's how we use it within our courses at the Academy of Alchemy of the Mind, okay? When we talk about spiritual connection, we have to go back to the concept of spirituality, which has to do with breath, with pranayama in Sanskrit, related to the origin of our civilization, where we came from, our ancestors. What happens is that there are extremes, people who don't want to know about this and people who want to know about this. What we need to understand is that we must understand it too and be ready to change. So, from this perspective, in which we are evolving in this spiritual connection, we understand today, especially if you feel, Diego, I don't need to go anywhere, I want to connect where I am. Some people connect on the subway, on the bus. I've even heard from many clients who connect in the bathroom, taking a shower, running in the park, sometimes watching a video, but learning some technique on the internet. They started internalizing it and felt that energy, felt that good vibe, right? Even you, watching some of our training from the Academy of Alchemy of the Mind, felt the same thing. The goal is for you to create your own habit. This awakens you to recognize yourself as someone different, someone special, someone who is actually a part of everything we call the universe. Today, we know that the universe is not just one, there are many universes, many multiverses happening at the same time. Increasingly, science is discovering this more and more. Even academia and quantum physics are getting more knowledge about dimensions, and we know that this is expanding more and more. Remember, this is from a limited perspective because we haven't seen it yet. We have several hypotheses. If the hypothesis of growth, of expansion, of prosperity, and abundance is part of science, then it is part of spirituality. Your thoughts about abundance, prosperity, and wealth are already within you. You don't need to have money to understand that money is already a part of your life. You need to understand that you already have this money. The only thing is for you to understand your thoughts, understand your emotions, understand everything that, in fact, is preventing you from doing this, preventing you from getting closer and closer to this, preventing you from becoming more and more redefined. There are several techniques, but the goal of this video is not to explain these techniques. The goal is for you to know you are part of this, you are awake to this awakening, and this awakening brings you this new dimension, which is a concept of daily spiritual expansion. It could be a meditation, a daily prayer, it could even be gratitude in a ritual, sometimes even writing in a gratitude journal. Certainly, in the way you desire, the important thing is to do it consistently. Consistency is the greatest secret of the universe. The fifth sign has to do with your life purpose. Purpose is not the same as profession, okay? Sometimes people confuse life mission with profession. Some people, for example, won't do the same things. For instance, a lawyer might want to help people in culinary arts. Let's think about this. I have the gift, I like to cook at home, and I want people to learn culinary arts, gastronomy, to make money with it because they will help their family and the people in need, in a deprived community. So, purpose has to do with who you are. Keep this in mind, purpose is about who you are. When you think you're crazy, you tell people, and they don't understand, of course, because not everyone is seeking to find their purpose, to identify their purpose. One of the main things for you not to be naive about this is to understand that sometimes you won't work with your purpose, and sometimes, I'll even be putting out the fire for many people because many people have their feet on the ground, and some like to stay in the world of illusions, like we talked about the elementals, the water elemental. So, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, let's think about it, they tend to be more imaginative. Not that it's bad, and I'm not going to enter into a perspective that all 12 signs have the same level of imagination. Don't come here saying, just because you are Aquarius or Leo or Virgo, that you won't have it. It's there, alright? All signs are susceptible to being imaginative instead of grounding this energy. You need to have grounded energy. It's no use having a good idea if you don't make it happen. It's no use wanting to have such a great purpose for humanity if you don't start today. There's a phrase, for example, we see associated with Confucius, but we don't know if it was Lao Tzu or Confucius. The probability is Confucius, but he says, a great journey begins with the first step. If you search on the internet, it could be Lao Tzu or Confucius, but it's in China, let's say, as we understand today's China territory. When we perceive this, many people want to see their purpose but stay in imagination with a self-help video, with self-help audio, with self-help books, right? And it's okay if you want to keep it that way, that's fine. But when we think about creating something meaningful, creating something solid that will last for years, that will leave a legacy for humanity, that you actually feel capable of making a profit from this business too because you need to continue, right? We only give it away for free, and people think everything has to be free. That's not how it works. It's not that you aren't giving it with love, people confuse a lot of things. The goal is, everything that is given for free is not valued. You know this. How can you think of a situation in your life? Several things you gave for free, and the person did not value it. It could even have been a loaned cell phone, a loaned book, you didn't even get it back. Pay close attention to this, right? So, those who understand, those in the new dimension, understand the importance. Here, I believe there was a transcription error, and perhaps the correct word should be understanding. Pay attention, I need to pay for this, I feel capable, I need to do this. Understand that values change, but those who remain superficial do not want to change. Then they will say, no, you are doing something wrong. In my perspective, you are wrong. It's always from the perspective of ego, of pride, instead of thinking about the self, wanting to grow and help others grow. Pay close attention to this because this is where people slip up in being crazy, in being awakened, and living their purpose. It's what we all came here to do. Everyone has a special skill. You're not good at everything, you're good at something, maybe more than one skill, but there's one, like the seasoning in the bean soup, something no one else has, only you. So, recapping, we talked about 5 strategies, 5 ways to understand that you are not crazy, but you are awakened. The first, he talked about the situations, pay close attention to the situations. Second, the people around you, you'll feel it from them. The third has to do with how you invest in your education, invest in your development. The fourth has to do with how you connect spiritually. And the fifth has to do with your purpose. So, remember that and put it into practice. Additionally, I want to invite you to like this video, give it your like below, comment on this video because it is very important for us to strengthen the channel. Moreover, share it with your friend, your friends, or even family members who need to see this message. They might also feel awakened but still think they are wrong. Say something in this aspect. Maybe in another media, access our YouTube channel now. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, click the subscribe button and press the bell. Through this, you will receive all our videos firsthand for you, in notifications through the internet. It will certainly help more and more to expand our knowledge, understand that we are prepared for this new age of Aquarius, okay? Much light and prosperity to you. See you more. And also within the Academy of Alchemy of the Mind, in our training. A big hug for you, see you soon, bye-bye.